Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Nikymus, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empires free. If you are new, on this channel I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back. And I thank you for your love and support. So, today's video, I want to help you with the ways that you can get over the narcissist. I'll use my personal experience. This according to my experience, of course. But as you're dealing with this kind of individuals, situations may be different depending on which narcissist have you been dealing with. With the parents, things might be different. Relationships, maybe brothers, maybe sisters, maybe jobs. But I would pretty much want to focus on the relationship part. First and foremost, you have been trauma bonded by the narcissist. So by breaking away emotionally from the narcissist, what we're simply emphasizing in this video is focusing and putting all your attention to breaking out of a trauma bond. Because you have been away from these guys, and obviously you find yourself very, very addicted to them. For some reason, you are so addicted to them. And for some reason, you feel like there is a code, an unbroken code, that is in one way or the other still attached to them. So that is the code which it's like an addiction, you know what I mean? So you have some kind of an addiction. And you're continuously dragging your energy towards the narcissist by missing them, by trying to contact them, by looking out for them. You guys are aware, of course, they are somewhere enjoying their lives with a new supply. And of course, you still have them in your thoughts and in your minds. Now, this thing can take a while, of course, eventually. It takes a while, but all I want to tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen, it is very possible to break the emotional codes. The emotional codes are a result of the trauma bond that you have between you and the narcissist that you've been dealing with. First of all, of course, you're going through this discard. There's been a discard. The discard has happened. You guys are separated. You moved out of the house, or they have moved out of the vicinity. It doesn't matter. The first thing what you do, ladies and gentlemen, you go no contact. So I'm teaching you how to break a trauma bond, actually. The first thing what you do, ladies and gentlemen, you have got to go no contact. The trauma bond, breaking out of a trauma bond includes going no contact. So you need to stop calling all those individuals. This is something you're going to practice over and over again, because remember that when you've got an addiction with someone to something, you're always longing for that particular individual or that particular thing. Now you're going to train yourselves to detach by going no contact. So you're starting by removing them out of your phones. If you have got some names, for example, there's a name you used to call them, hubby or babe, or it can be anything, you know what I mean? Superman, superwoman, whatever name you've been using for them. The first thing what you do, you get them out of your phones and you block them. But there are some situations when the blocking is impossible, because maybe sometimes you have got some ties. So there could be some other things that you've been dealing with together, and every now and then you need some form of a contact with them. In that case, you can leave that number in your phone, or you can get it out of your phone and write it on a separate note and keep that note somewhere, that in a place that you do not reach out often. It can be a hidden place somewhere in your house. that you know that, okay, so when it's time to call them, you're going to go and pick up that number, and you're going to call them and sort out whatever it is you have got to sort out with them. So this usually happens when you guys have got some financial ties together. You've been having a mortgage, maybe you have children, there have been a lot of financing going on in that relationship, and somehow you want to sort out these finances between the two of you. In this case, what we're talking about minimum contact. The only reason you are picking up that paper to call them is calling them to sort out that issue that you've got within them, the tie. And as soon as that is finished, close the phone, delete the call logs, and of course put that thing back in the safe place where you know that you're going to pick it up. So what I'm trying to say is that whenever you look at your phone, for example, you're trying to call someone, you shouldn't be in position whereby you're going to be scrolling through the names and that name is going to keep on showing up in your phone, because these are emotional codes. So it's some kind of an energy, and the farther away you get from this energy is going to be the better for you. So breaking out of trauma bond, actually, it also triggers your healing process to happen. Okay? Going no contact. Very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you have minimum contact. If you do not have any ties with them, there are no financial ties with them, for example, you have been doing your own shit, you have been taking care of yourself, you do not have any kids together, there are no ties, and there are no reasons for you to go to contact each other, then of course in that case, we're talking about complete blocking and going no contact. Let's say, for example, you have got children with them. Every now and then you have got to get into, contact with them, hear something about the kids, or trying to find out something about the children. So in that case, what you do, you have got to contact them and only address the issues that involve the children. It has got to be nothing more than that. You keep your conversations very simple and straight to the point. If you hear them starting to initiate some kind of a conversation, let me say some kind of BS, there was on the trip, or something about their new boyfriend, or something about the meal that they have had, make sure that you block your ears. You do not want to listen to that. Minimum contact possible. Only about the kids. End of story. Finish the conversation. Delete the call logs. Put that little piece of paper back somewhere where you know that you can get it. If you have got the number off head, then the better for you. You can even get rid of that paper whenever you want to call them. Just memorize the number, call them, and forget about it. This is something you're going to do. Of course, it's going to take you some time to practice, but with time, the brain only needs about 21 days of practice. If you can do it at least for a month, then of course your brain is going to put you in autoplay, and you're going to be doing it on autoplay. Okay? It is going to work for you in one way, shape, or form. Second thing, what I would recommend, if you want to break the codes with a narcissist, get over them. You know what I mean? They are away doing their own things, and you're struggling to get over them. What you're now going to do, you are going to try to relocate. Now, I know this one is very hard. Sometimes it's very difficult because you guys have been living together in this home, in this vicinity, and you've left this relationship. Now you're thinking that, okay, so how are you going to deal with the situation whereby they are going to be popping up all of a sudden every time in your life? Now, what you need to do is that when you're going through this breakup, you have got to get very, very far away from them. Try to relocate. You can try to sometimes to move to the next town, like I talked about in my video yesterday. You are going to move to the next town. Try to get as far away as possible, because let me tell you something. When you have got an addiction to someone, it is going to be very easy for you to walk around the places that you guys used to visit. There are some of those cafes you had your coffees. There are some of those restaurants you guys used to visit. You're going to find yourself, ladies and gentlemen, getting drawn to those places because your memory is very close to that place. But if you're in a place that is a little bit far away from them, then you know that you're not going to be tempted, actually, to just show up all of a sudden in those places. If you do not show up in those places, the narcissist is actually going to show up themselves. It's the reason as to why you find yourselves after the discard. It's like they are every now and then showing up. All of a sudden, they are just appearing out of nowhere. You've been in the gym and you see them showing up. You've been in a restaurant and you see them showing up. They are going to keep on showing up around your energy. If you guys are still in that same vicinity, in that same area, believe me or not, ladies and gentlemen, those guys are going to show up. These people, they're like vampires. They need somewhere, somehow to get some form of contact with you. And it doesn't really matter if they are already seeing somebody else or not. So you are going to relocate to another town, to another city, somewhere a little bit far away. It is going to be very difficult for you to connect with them every now and then. It may happen sometimes once in a month or once in 2 months, but it's not going to happen as more often as it will when you're actually living in a close proximity with them. All right. The other thing, what you're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, you've been with these individuals for a very long period of time. Of course, you guys have got some, what do they call it? Some places in common that you used to go, cafes, restaurants, and things like that. You are now going to start changing your options. Let me say, for example, you guys used to shop in a certain shop, a supermarket, or a certain, there's a place you used to buy your groceries, or there's a place you used to go for your coffees, or the things like that. You are going to stop visiting those places. This is something that's going to take you a lot of practice, but you're going to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you are the one in this situation. You are the one who is trying to break a trauma bond. The narcissist is not doing any work on themselves. So what you are really going to do, you're going to stop visiting those places, and you're going to start creating new memories for yourself. By doing this, the brain is now starting to see new things. So now it's like you are rewiring your brain to have a new experience with yourself. You're going to new places for your coffee. You're going to new places for your gym. You're going somewhere else for your exercises, for your walks and everything like that. Do not use the same places that you used to visit. When you was with those narcissists, everything has got to change completely for you to be able to emotionally start to detach from these kind of individuals. And again, I will still say that this thing takes a lot of practice. And I've told you guys in my videos, every now and then, you have got to put in the work. Nobody is going to do this healing work for you, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be around to guide you. We shall give you some sessions. We will be coaching you, but you are going to be the one finally who is going to put in this work. Okay? What else are you going to do to break away emotionally and to get over the narcissist? All right, you guys are married. You've been married for a while, 20 years, 24 years. You know, it depends on how long you've been with them. Maybe you're not married, you've been in a relationship, a very long-term relationship. What you're going to do now, you're going to start removing that energy. You're going to start removing the narcissist out of your energy. How do you do that? There is pictures you guys used to make together. You used to take photos. You used to go to the beach. There are all these pictures around the house, maybe on the walls, maybe in your phone, maybe physical pictures that you can actually look up there in some kind of an album. You're going to start getting rid of all those pictures, ladies and gentlemen. I know some people that have done that. For example, you've got a picture whereby you and the narcissist are in that picture. What you're going to do, if it's in your phone, delete the picture. You don't want to see that picture anymore. If it's a physical picture, and you may sometimes want to keep that picture, you can now cut out the narcissist out of that picture. So it is a way of sending a message to your subconscious mind that you are getting rid of this individual. You do not need them anymore in your life, and you're trying to get rid of them and forget about them. So you are now cutting them out of those pictures, and you're staying alone, just you alone. If there's a picture whereby it's the two of you, destroy that picture completely, burn it, throw it down in the trash. It doesn't matter. If it's a picture in your phone, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, the narcissist is appearing everywhere. Start going into your all social media platforms and start deleting all those pictures out of your platforms. It is a gradual process, but slowly, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to realize that actually you are slowly disconnected from these individuals. Because remember, the only thing the trauma bond needs to be reactivated is by you engaging with memories. So you do not want to see any memories in your phone, physical pictures on the walls. Throw away everything that you know is bringing that narcissist image in front of your face, okay? Let's go to the gifts. Let's go to the surprises. Let's go to the presents. They bought you a necklace. They bought you a watch. Maybe they bought you a car. They bought you a phone. They bought you so many things over the years. Now, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When you're breaking away from the narcissist, you're going to make a lot of sacrifices. There is no going to be any gain without pain. This one I will guarantee you from experience, through experience, is going to require you a lot of work. And sometimes it's going to be a very painful process, but you are going to get there. If we did it, you can also do it anyway. You are going to get rid of everything. There's a watch. You go for your birthday. Get rid of the watch. There's the phone. You can sometimes go to these phone shops and you trade that phone for another phone. There's a car you've been driving with the narcissist. Go to those car dealers and car whatever, those people deal with cars and the car garages and everything. You can get rid of the car and you can actually trade that car for another one, which is actually somewhere around the same price range like yours. There's a dress in your wardrobe. Throw that dress away. Do not, this is something I want to tell you guys, very, very important. Do not give those items to anybody. Because when you give those items to anyone, you're actually transferring that energy to those individuals. You don't remember that you've been dealing with a very toxic energy. Now, you do not want to be in a situation or position where you are transferring that energy from yourself to another individual. Make sure you do not give those items to anybody. Just throw those items away and let that energy deal with itself, okay? Again, do not give that energy to anybody else. Do not give them the dresses that the narcissist bought for you. Don't give them the shoes that you have been wearing and the narcissist bought those shoes for you. You are getting rid of every item that you know that you had from those individuals. Get rid of it. Forget about it. With at some point in time, you're going to be okay. All right? What else are you going to do to break away and to break the cords and to get over the narcissist? Okay, there is mutual friends. There are some family members who used to come around and visit. There's people who used to contact you when you was with them. What are you going to do now? You are going to start by cutting off all those individuals out of your energy. There's an auntie who used to come around. Most likely those individuals, they are very close with the narcissist. You are going to get rid of that auntie. Stop calling those people. Remove all their numbers, because remember that these people, they're all agents for the narcissist. So they are kind of working like flying monkeys, and they're always going to be lingering around your energy. Sometimes the narcissist may use them to come around and spy on you, maybe bring you something, bring you a small present, bring you some flowers and the things like that. You are going to cut off everybody, ladies and gentlemen. When you have left the narcissist, you have also got to cut the other cords that are lingering around your energy. Get rid of all the flying monkeys, the mutual friends, the relatives, you know, the guy next door, the guy at the shop. Everybody is supposed to go. It is a process that you have got to do to clean your energy, because the energy of the narcissist is very intense. So that energy from the narcissist, it also spreads out to other people, flying monkeys, mutual friends, and the people like that, even sometimes the people next door. You are going to cut all the cords. When we're talking about cutting the cords, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really talking about cutting the cords. This is something you're going to do again. It is going to require a lot of energy. You're going to need the last energy you've got inside of your body to do this practice, because it is only through these kind of things that you're going to start detaching emotionally. The most important thing of leaving a narcissist is to detach from them emotionally. When you have left the narcissist, you've carried on with your life. You're somewhere in a new place. You bought a new house. You moved to a new city. And you have not cut the emotional cords. I can guarantee, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a matter of time before you see those people at your doorstep. And before you know it, you're going to find the narcissist in your bed. And you will not know how the narcissist got back in your bed after all this month with the new supply. That is something you do not want to experience, okay? What else are you going to do if you're trying to detach emotionally and to break the cords and to get over a narcissist? What you're going to do is now, you are going to start reconnecting with the people that you lost. So there's some family members who mean a lot to you. They are very close to you. Maybe they mean a lot to you. They mean you well. You can now start to reconnect with those individuals. Do not explain a lot of things, because they may not understand all the details about narcissistic abuse. Reconnect with them. Try to get some contact with them, because sometimes you're going to need a lot of emotional support when you're going through a breakup with a narcissist. Reconnect with those people. It can be your mother. You haven't called your mother in 2 or 3 years because there was a narcissist in your house. Try to reconnect with your mom. Reconnect with your dad. Bring back the people that you lost over the years when you was involved with the narcissist. It is also going to be a part of your healing process, and it's going to help you recover. All right? What else are you going to do when you're trying to detach emotionally and to break the cords with the narcissist? You are simply going to get a pen and a paper. Now remember, everything that has been happening in that entanglement has been energy. It has been a very toxic energy for this matter. What are you going to do? You get a piece of paper. You start to write down all the things that you can remember, especially the bad events that happened. Write them on one paper, on one piece of paper. It can be one, it can be two. It doesn't matter how long you've been with them. You're going to write down everything you can remember and all the things, the horrible things that they have done to you. On the other paper, you're going to write down the beautiful experiences you've had with them. Because it doesn't always mean that when you have been with the narcissist, everything has been a bad experience. There has been a few of them that went well. Some few days were okay. But a majority of the days were wrong and were bad, were horrible. You're writing down everything on the piece of paper. Take your time. You can write it 1 day, you can write it 2 days. It doesn't matter, even a week or two. When you are done with scripting all the events that happened during that relationship, you are now going to discover that the bad experiences, they are actually outweighing the good experiences. You're going to recognize that there was just, in that relationship, there was just a few good experiences and there was a lot of bad experiences. That's what's going to give you the confirmation that actually you have been with a very toxic person and you have been in a very abusive relationship. So now what you're going to do, you're going to get this piece of paper that you've written down with the bad experiences. You're going to go in a place like this. There's trees, there's nature, maybe by the lake, maybe by the sea, by the river, it doesn't matter. It has got to be a place where there's nature. You're going to go out there. You're going to read out everything aloud. Read it out the way you have written it. Do not miss a thing. When you're finished reading out, you can even read it out the second time. You could even sometimes read it out the third time. And then eventually, you're going to release that energy back into the universe, okay? Because that energy, remember, it doesn't belong to you. So what you're going to do now, you are going to read out those experiences, and then what you're going to do, you're going to burn the paper, and you're going to actually say that you are finally releasing this energy out of your body, and you're releasing this energy back into the universe because that energy does not belong to you. It was an energy that was actually inflicted on you by somebody else who was very toxic. You burn that piece of paper. With time, ladies and gentlemen, you are actually accepting that you are releasing that energy away from you and very, very far away from you, and you're releasing that energy back into the universe. That is how you're going to be able to get that energy out of your body, all right? Now, of course, depending on the people that you're dealing with, like I've said, the situations are going to be different. There could be a mom who was the problem. There must be a dad who was the problem. Maybe there was an uncle, there was a friend. Situations are going to be very different regarding your situation. So if your situation is different from a relationship, then you may have to get in touch with me, ladies and gentlemen. You may have to book a session, and we shall go through your own personal situation depending on what you've been dealing with. And I'm going to guide you on the ways that you can do and you have to do to break away the emotional codes from those particular individuals. And until then, guys, you know that I do love and appreciate your support. You can always book a session with me if you would like to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And I'll catch you guys in my next one. Desamos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.